don't know why we happened to watch Mother in our house recently. I'm not sure why. So we watched this as a little bit of a family fun movie to watch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a family fun movie. Is it?
I'd kind of been interested in it because I think Darren Aronofsky always does interesting things. And I'd heard about how it was like done in almost like this sort of one-shot sort of thing. I think my son was interested because maybe he thought it was meant to be like a bit of like a weird horror home invasion type movie, which I think is maybe a bit of mismarketing if you think it's like that. It is.
Shout out the story then, Rob, if you can.
She's living in a house. She being Jennifer Lawrence, unnamed character. Jennifer Lawrence is her husband Javier Bardem, who is also unnamed. You notice they never say the characters' names in it. And they just live in this house, which apparently burnt down years ago when he was younger, and she's been rebuilding it from scratch. And then one day Ed Harris, this guy, turns up, and it's a bit of an unwanted guest, but the husband's quite happy for him to stay. And then the husband, has a little bit of a tension with his wife about it. When this guest's wife turns up, and then
Michelle
the guest's
Pfeiffer,
wife's kids turn up as well, and they start.
Michelle Pfeiffer is excellent in this. She's just horrible, isn't she?
Domhnall Gleeson is in it, and his real brother Brian Gleeson's in it, and playing brothers. And then there's a tragedy happens, and things start escalating, and you in watching it, you think, oh, this is a bit odd, this is a bit strange. Where's this going? And then the things get more and more far fetched. You're obviously realizing that. This isn't realistic.
It's like fantasy dream mode, isn't it?
I found that within about 20 minutes into it, or half an hour into it, or something like that, maybe, I kind of twigged what was going on.
I wouldn't say I twigged what was going on, but I got the idea that it was some sort of
Bible thing.
Maybe not even that early, but I knew there was an allegory that I wasn't getting. And I also thought there's some sort of fantasy, or I thought she was either in a dream or she was being dreamed about or something. And then people come into the house, don't they? And the house just gets fuller and fuller of people.
It goes crazy at the end where there's like people human trafficking and chucking Molotov cocktails and SWAT teams. It goes completely crazy by the end.
Remembering, does she have a baby?
Yes, yeah, but it's obviously it's just a huge. It's just transplanting the relationship between God and Mother Earth into a microcosm of a husband and a wife. And I started suspecting, I think something's going on here. Like, is he meant to be God or something like that? Or is she meant to be God? What's going on here? And when I realised that, I was really enjoying it, thinking, okay, so
she's Mother Earth,
he's God. So the first stranger is Adam.
Yep.
And then Adam's on his own, so then he brings Eve as well, and it's almost like the relationship that Mother Earth's like, well, I was quite happy with just the two of us, and then God's like, no, I need people to worship me, because he's a poet, and the people that come to the house are worshipping him.
That's right, yeah.
So he needs people to worship him. And then when she got pregnant, I was thinking, okay, this is obviously going to represent Jesus, because and how that goes. Yeah, and there's a bit in them earlier on where things start escalating, like the brothers argue, which is Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
And then there's a bit where someone sits on a sink and it rips the pipes out the wall and there's a flood.
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, now you're saying it. Yeah. I remember that scene and I didn't get that. That didn't clock with me straight away.
Yeah, so I was... when that sort of caught with me, I was really enjoying it, seeing as this is really clever what he's done, and where's this going to go?
It becomes really quite frightening, doesn't it?
It's intense, yeah.
Because the way they treat her is as if they say, "Oh no, it's fine." I
think if I saw this in the cinema, I think I'd have been maybe hyperventilating because she's not in control and she doesn't really take control and she's just sort of powerless and all these things are happening and it gets really quite, you get quite sort of wound up and quite frenetic on her behalf.
And everyone's dismissive of her, don't they? And
they're like,
the
camera's on her all the time.
You're just being
she's
stupid.
She's constantly in shot. Nothing really happens without her in shot. Everything's for her, but it was just really interesting idea that what he's trying to say something about God and Mother Earth, and that it's not a particularly flattering view of God. It's almost like I need these people to worship me. Yeah, but these people are ruining the earth. Yeah, but if you don't have the people, you've got no one to worship me.
Yeah, he's kind of arrogant, isn't he, and greedy.
Yeah,
and
but yeah, that idea that but making it.
Are we talking spoilers for this 15-year-old film, however old it is?
It's not that old, actually. 2017.
Oh, is
it's not
it?
as old as you think, actually. Yeah.
Never thing.
Apparently, Jennifer Lawrence had to have a bit of a 6-12 months break or something.
I'm not surprised
because she said it was so intense. Because she is in every single shot of the film, and you're just thinking how exhausting that must be to make a film when you're in every single shot.
Like you say, she's really abused quite a lot, isn't she? And there's quite a lot of hate spouted at her as well, isn't there?
Yeah, not abused in a sense. Yeah, not abused in a sense, but like she's just sort of taken for granted. Yeah, and then that's the frustrating thing, where it's just like her husband is obviously not thinking about her at all, and what she wants isn't what he wants. And I felt like it's probably more rewarding, I think, playing the game of seeing, understanding the biblical subtexts there, which aren't even that sub, they're kind of text. I think if you're just going in there expecting it to be a kind of weird, freaky horror movie or a home invasion movie, I think you're going to be disappointed because it doesn't really work as a straight up horror.
It is that as well, though, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, but if you went to see this, I'm trying to think of a home invasion movie that's
like the old
similar.
Panic Room. Do you remember Panic Room with Jodie Foster?
Yeah,
I love that actually. But yeah,
because if you're wanting that and you go and see this, the way it escalates towards the end, you'll be thinking, what is going on now? Yeah. This has gone crazy. I'm done. This bye. I think you could easily get frustrated and clock out.
I do really like these. I'm trying to think of some. Black Swan I watched quite recently, which I know is quite an old film. That's one of his, isn't it? Darren Aronofsky's. I quite like this. Just
Black Swan's excellent. Yeah,
different vibes or different stories or things where it's just.
I think it's just those things. Like, I mean, it's. I suppose if you do class it as a horror film, it's more in the vein of something like Midsummer. I don't know if you've seen the Florence Pugh one.
I haven't watched it, but
which is kind of like it's
psychological,
sort of folk horror movie in the veins of something like Wicker Man or something. But again, it's quite weird and it goes sort of strange places. Or Suspiria is also the remake one. I've not seen the original, or Hereditary, those sort of things.
No, I haven't
just kind of weird horror movies.
Suspiria, but I'm hearing it's an excellent horror.
I found it tough. I found it really tough going, but see what you think. I found it very tough to get through.
Well, I still want to watch that Skinamarink, which is meant to be super hard to watch because it's utterly boring. So, yeah, Mother, a friend of mine recommended it, I don't know, last year before, and he said, watch this. He said, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but it's just a total mind F. And I was like, yeah, and I watched it and I was like, wow, yeah, it's really out there, isn't it? But it's an excellent film. But it's an excellent film. I think it's a really good.
I really enjoyed it because it's just something that's a bit. I don't watch enough stuff that's not your mainstream films. That's a problem because if you lazily just watch the big mainstream movies sometimes, and I hate myself for doing that. So it's just watching films like this with just a little bit more where the director's trying to say something.
Did the family like it?
And they thought it was interesting, and both of them. My daughter didn't watch it, but my son and wife saw it, and they both like, I'm not sure what I think of that. I'm not sure if I like it. But then they both said, well, particularly my wife, she's saying like the next day she just found herself thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch, is it?
And I'd rather have a film that's, wouldn't you rather have a film that's thought provoking rather than necessarily, than just bland?
Thanks for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe to see more of our content.